Take that
Had to
gulp.
take a delicious drink of water before starting.
Water.
Maybe I should get a beer. This feels wrong.
It does feel wrong.
All right, I'll be right back. Howdy, it's Saturday, May 12th, 2018, and this is episode 71 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast. I'm Kyle Askin, joined as always by Craig Stone. What is good, Craig?
Just happy to be back. It's been a month. Since our last episode.
So the way we did it is we had a couple in February, and then we had one in March, one in April, and this will be the first episode in May. Do you think we can do another May episode, Craig?
Yeah, I think we're starting to get to where there's some consistency. So I'm optimistic about 2 weeks from now. I think we can do it. I think we can get back on schedule.
I think we can too. I know when I had my second, it took a couple months, and you're just kind of passing, you're 10 weeks now?
Yeah, 11 weeks.
Right, so hopefully if things continue along the same trajectory that my son took, I think should be better now, and maybe we'll start to podcast again a little bit.
That's what I'm hoping. Luckily, 11 weeks, no news.
Yeah, nothing's happened actually in Atlantic City.
No announcements.
I just want to thank you guys for listening, and if you want to read now, so anyway. But before we get started, do you have anything to say about your two favorite sports teams to follow right now, kind of on different trajectories? The Capitals, of course, have made the conference finals for the first time in quite a while, and the Orioles are absolutely horrific, though I will say they're on a bit of a winning streak now.
Yeah, I mean, the Orioles thing, I thought they were going to be bad. I didn't think they were going to be, historically bad, although the White Sox are now significantly worse than them after this 4-game winning streak.
I think that they probably just got all of their losses out of the way in April, which is smart, and now they'll probably win the rest of their games.
I think so. So if you're in Vegas and you're looking for a surefire bet, just really long odds, because the bookmakers in Vegas are foolish and believe that the Orioles will lose another game this season, bet on them to win the World Series. The Caps, people keep asking me, oh, how does it feel? You finally beat the Penguins. You're finally in the third round. And it's I don't even know how to feel. It's so weird. I was 14 the last time that they were this far in the playoffs. And when it got to that Pittsburgh series, I was just well, this is the stage of inevitability that we've reached. So, it would be cool if they won, but I have no expectations.
All right, well, I remember joking around with you on G-Chat when they were down 0-2 in the first round series, and I'm like, how does it feel to have this happen every year? And because I said I'm not really a big hockey fan, but I'm like, at least, the local team is known for something. They've got a shtick. It's great. And you're like, yeah, I'm just coming around to that. Yeah, it's just how it's going to be.
So there's a shirt that you can buy from the New York City Caps crew that says no cups, because the Caps have never won any cups. No cups, no fucks. Which, people scoff at me. They're like, oh, that's ridiculous. Obviously you care, you want a cup. It's true, of course I want a cup. But, if you take away people's ability to just be oh, you never won anything, and just own it, and enjoy the fact that, you're generally watching good hockey for most of the season, and just are hey, this is our identity. We picked this team. We're not out on the ice. Don't talk to me about, the team's success. That's what I never get about, sports fans being oh, your team's a bunch of chokers. It's yep, I wasn't, out there skating, right? I'm not on defense on the Capitals giving up goals. I just hope that they win. All I'm doing is sitting here hoping they win. I don't know. Sports fandom is weird.
Yeah, it's effective against some people. We have a mutual friend that I'm sure anytime his teams do badly, it kills him inside. So,
oh yeah, no,
those insults would be super effective.
No, they're effective against me. I get all riled up and red-assed about it. But
yeah,
Yeah, just the thought process that goes into that. Welcome to the Hockey Podcast. Due for a win. Capitals are due for a win podcast.
All right. Do you actually want to talk about Atlantic City a little bit?
Yeah, not really. I mean,
well, we said there was no news, so actually there is some news. This will be the Hard Rock and Ocean podcast, I think, which is fine because it's certainly the two biggest pieces of news, both in the last however many weeks since the last time we recorded was, and going into the next few months is how these properties are going to impact the market. And I guess the most pertinent piece of information is that came out since our last podcast is that they're both opening on June 28th.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to talk about them kind of one at a time, or?
Yeah, let's sort of run down some of the things we learned about each property.
All right, knock it out.
So the latest thing is that Hard Rock has been granted a casino license by the Casino Control Commission. That happened on May 9th. Seemed like pretty much a formality, you know. Hard Rock's a big company.
Right, it didn't seem like they were really going through it with a fine-tooth comb. They weren't getting the Glenn Straub treatment, I don't think.
Yeah, no. So that's a done deal, so they don't have to worry about that. Ocean does not have their casino license yet. So something to keep an eye on for Ocean. They also held a big event that we mentioned in our last episode that it was upcoming. Now it's come and gone. Their big event announcing their opening date, which is June 28th, like we mentioned. They announced a bunch of entertainment, but not their grand opening entertainment at that time. So they had announced, you know, at the first music act at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino was going to be Third Eye Blind, which seemed kind of odd. And then, you know, they announced a bunch of other stuff, Florida Georgia Line, Maroon 5, Blake Shelton, who all of those I think have played beach concerts in Atlantic City before. They announced a ton of stuff in their smaller venue. So, you know, they've got a lot of entertainment on the weekdays, on the weekends. You know, almost every night, it seems like, or certainly every other night, they've got something. They also announced that there will be a Howie Mandel comedy club.
Are you excited, Craig?
No. I mean, I like comedy clubs, but I like going to see stand-up, but you know, Trop had a comedy club for a long time, and I never went, and then it closed. So I don't really doesn't excite me that much. I mean, it's good to like if this is going to be the entertainment place. I think it's like. So
is it the Howie Mandel Comedy Club because he will be heavily featured there?
I don't know if he will or not. In the press conference, he had a recorded message thing saying just about like, hey, yeah, I've got a comedy club named after me. That's a big dream. I'm assuming he will play there like very soon after its opening. I don't know if he's going to be there like every couple weeks. I'd be kind of surprised. And then they finally did announce their grand opening weekend entertainment, and it is Carrie Underwood on Friday the 29th and Pitbull on Saturday, June 30th. So there's your A-list entertainment, if there's any question. Yeah.
Sounds A-list to me. I mean, I have a very, very limited range of modern musicians I have heard of, and they are both in that range. So I assume that seems like a good get for them.
Yeah, so that should be a big weekend. It'll be interesting to see if room rates elsewhere in town go up because A, you've got two places opening and presumably getting people excited, and B, because you've got two now very big concerts at the Edis Arena at Hard Rock. But any thoughts on the entertainment lineup? Were you so psyched? Did you have any dates circled where you're like, I need to get to Hard Rock for this concert?
Well, I don't think we should talk about it quite yet. I do have some dates circled, but they are unrelated to the concerts, unfortunately. But it sounds good. It sounds like Hard Rock is delivering on what they said they would deliver on, which is kind of pretty big acts going throughout the summer, even during the week. So sounds like they're very optimistic about Atlantic City and optimistic about this new property they're opening up.
Yeah. So one cool thing they're doing that's important to mention is that they are running a room rate tier match. It's what they're calling it. So presumably they will be doing an actual tier match where they will match your cards. But for now, the deal is if you have an upgraded status at, I think, just about any of the other casinos in Atlantic City, if you're at the like lowest level, it's like, you know, platinum at Caesars, and actually even gold at Caesars, they'll give you 25% off their rates. So that also includes Epic at resorts and Premier at resorts. So pretty much any card, including going back to Taj. So if you have, you know, Pearl or Sapphire, M Life, Platinum or Gold, total rewards. Basically, if you've signed up for a player's card, they'll give you 25% off a room. So that's not a bad deal.
I mean, I get a lot of, you know, going to the Caesars website. It's like 35% off right now.
Spring
I don't
sale,
know if it really means
2
anything.
weeks only. Yeah, and then it's like the same sale.
But anyway.
But if you have the next level up, where you're talking about like Caesars Diamond, Borgata M Life Gold, Chairman at Golden Nugget, Paramount at Resorts, the old Chairman at Taj Mahal, Platinum or Gold at Tropicana, all of those things will get you one free night, which there are, you know, the restriction is just availability. So I know some people have called about specific Saturdays and they've had trouble getting them. I'm sure the sort of inventory for these specific comp rooms is limited, especially on Saturdays. I was able to call up and get a Friday in the summer, no problem, which is a little spoiler for what we're going to talk about. But and then if you have the highest level, so, you know, Noir, the old Borgata, I guess it's M Life Platinum, 7 stars at Caesars, Elite at Golden Nugget, Red Carpet at Resorts, Black Card at Tropicana. You can get 2 free nights, and that includes weekends. So what do you think about this deal, Kyle?
I think that it is incredibly smart and makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I mean, to me, we had talked about, like, this is what Revel should have done.
Right.
Get people in the building, fill the place with people who you know are gamblers, and they're doing that. Like, they're literally giving away rooms. So it's pretty cool. I'm a fan.
Well, so let's you give us a segue, and I see you have one more question you want to talk about, but we can talk about it after we talk about Ocean.
Sure.
So, right, we both said that this is probably what Revel should have done when they opened, and they didn't. And as we mentioned, kind of leading into this segment, Ocean is also opening up on June 28th. So what are they doing?
So they haven't announced any sort of tier match, status match. They are taking reservations, but no word on this kind of deal, which is funny because I was worried for Ocean that if they couldn't open before Hard Rock, that Hard Rock would really, you know, steal their thunder and make it hard for them to sort of get into people's minds as a new exciting property, while Hard Rock is kind of squeezing them out and getting a lot of press and having a bunch of events and doing all that stuff. This deal to me is a big part of that, because now it kind of feels like it forces Ocean's hand, right? Like they need to do something similar. Even if they do something similar, they're not really going to get a lot of credit for it, right? I mean, people take advantage because like I'll go for another free night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they have to, though. I don't think there's any choice. And I think someone, maybe Ed in our Facebook group, said that he thinks that Ocean is going to end up doing something very similar to this, but
or at least a card tier match. I don't know if it'll be like the room rate thing, but at least a card tier match.
But I mean, well, why don't you run down everything that Ocean's doing before I kind of give some thoughts, I guess.
Sure. So they've kind of done it all through Facebook announcements. June 28th opening date. Like we mentioned, they fixed the kerning in their logo. So if you hated on the logo,
is definitely true.
It looks totally fine now.
It doesn't make my brain explode anymore.
A couple of the restaurants are returning. American Cut Steakhouse, Amada. Which was maybe it was a Jose Garces restaurant. We'll talk about that a little more. Apparently, Mark Wahlberg is going to have a major presence. There's going to be a Wahlburgers and then a bar called Entourage, which I have zero interest in going to any bar that is even vaguely related to the show Entourage. Although I say that, but I watched every episode of that show. It's one of those things like I watched every episode and I think back and it's like, why did I watch every episode of that show? Anyways, Topgolf. The big news is that there will be a Topgolf swing suite, apparently the biggest Topgolf swing suite in the country. If you're a Vegas aficionado, Topgolf, you'll be aware of Topgolf from their, I think, is it MGM Grand where their location is?
I think that sounds right.
Probably wrong, but
or Planet Hollywood, maybe. Let me check.
It's the MGM Grand. It is the MGM Grand.
Okay.
So Topgolf basically, some of the Topgolfs have an outdoor portion, like a real driving range. I don't think this one will. It seems like it's just the indoor thing, simulated golf. I think they're hinting that there's going to be other sort of simulated sports options. I don't know what those would be, but it's a bar. Like, it's a bar lounge place. It's not, you don't have to go there with the intent of, getting into the range and teeing off. But it seems to me like it's definitely bar focused, almost like a karaoke bar, but instead of karaoke, it's golf on a virtual course, which is pretty cool. And seems like people really like the one in Vegas. This one will seemingly be very large, which is good. Fills up some of the space in Ocean, which was certainly a problem at Revel, that it had a lot of space. They was completely unused, and you'd just be wandering into this abyss and wondering what the hell they were doing with all that space. But does Topgolf pique your interest? Are you a golf guy?
Not really. I mean, I used to play quite a bit, but I don't know if I ever actually really enjoyed it. So, and like, the things I like about golf are kind of getting outside, and so I don't know. For me, it's not really something I'm interested in. But
so I'm interested to try it once. When it first got announced, I was like, this is huge. Like, this is fine. This is their big draw, like entertainment draw. And there's, I think there's a Topgolf already somewhere in Maryland, Virginia area. I'm not sure, but
yeah. They're a pretty big chain.
Within a couple weeks, they announced that there's going to be one like right next to Horseshoe in Baltimore. So, if this was going to be the draw that would get a bunch of people who normally go to Horseshoe to come up to Ocean, now it's like, well, I can still just go to Horseshoe and then go to Topgolf. But, that's probably not a very big number. It is good to have some more entertainment. What other news? They are in the process, or have mostly torn down the wall that was along the boardwalk, the like stone wall. I guess trying to make it a more inviting entrance. They're just going to put stairs there instead of having that wall where you have to walk up a more narrow stairwell.
We have to walk up kind of the stairwell and walk around the porte-cochere.
So there's, we'll link to
that is better, and I think that will definitely be an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just look more like it's right on the beach.
Like they want you to come.
Yes, yeah, like it's actually someplace you should go. So there was also an article by Wayne Perry of the Associated Press talking about Bruce Dyfick, who is the new owner of Ocean. And apparently he's been living in the Tropicana for the last 9 months. So, you speculated that they knew about this sale, well before January 1st or whenever, like when it was announced. And living in the Tropicana for 9 months, so we're going back to probably July or August of 2017. Like, yeah, he knew that this was coming for a very long time. And it's really kind of amazing that, we sort of had filings and stuff that connected the dots, but like the fact that this just wasn't a known thing is pretty interesting. Although, I guess why would anybody know Bruce Dyfick walking around? He's not a celebrity. Like, why would you see him at Trop and be like, you're buying the Ocean? I know it. You're buying 10. It's my life goal now, though, is to recognize some random casino executive,
some random VP,
and call them out for their plans that they're clearly working on. Anyways, so what else in that? Their HQ Pool Club and Nightclub are returning. They're reconfiguring the casino floor. They're going to put in some better signs, which I think is good. And Dyvik said there's going to be something called Cereal Town, which is a restaurant that serves breakfast cereal from around the globe, which, probably kid focused, family focused. I said I want to live there. Like, I want to go to Cereal Town. I love cereal. Sounds amazing. That excites me more than Topgolf.
You are a big cereal fan.
Cereal's the best. Yeah, just I want to go and just eat nothing but cereal for like an entire day. And then go get a toasted coconut donut at the end of the day.
From Bally's. Only the Bally's.
Correct.
Not the resorts one. It's not as good.
So, no entertainment announced so far at Ocean, but what do you think about what they've come out with at Ocean as far as what's been announced here?
I'm concerned.
Concerned?
Frankly. I am.
You don't think Cereal Town totally puts them over the top?
I know that there's a lot of people that are optimistic, but I mean, Hard Rock's taking so much of the oxygen out of like the environment for these openings. Like, I mean, I think that most people are only really going to be interested in Hard Rock, and Ocean's going to be like an afterthought. That's my honest feeling, and I hope I'm wrong. But like the quantity of news that's coming out that I'm hearing about between Hard Rock and Ocean, it's like way disproportionately tilted towards Hard Rock. And like, we're only 45 days out or something. So you're more excited for Ocean. You said that. Do you stand by that? It's every day is pushing me more and more towards Hard Rock. Like everything they're doing seems to be like, the right moves and doing the right things to try to get people in the door and trying to build up hype the correct way. And Ocean, you just don't hear a whole lot about. You hear, something like Topgolf. Like I think that is a good idea for them. I think it could succeed, but it's not something that most people are going to be really excited about, compared to something like Carrie Underwood or Pitbull or getting a free room,
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of excitement in our Facebook group, similar to what you said your excitement is, which is you loved Revel, and you're excited to go explore that property again. There was a lot of excitement about American Cut and Amada coming back, like some of the old restaurants coming back. But the problem is, like, you can't just get the people who liked Revel, right? Because Revel did horribly. It closed. It didn't have enough of those people. And so I'm a little concerned that there is so much stuff returning that was in the original one. Ivan Kane's Royal Jelly nightclub is coming back. They've announced. So, there, a lot of the stuff is returning from the old Revel, which, like, it's good because that stuff was well liked, but it wasn't really
it's good for the people that really loved the Revel. But let's be frank, the Revel was a complete failure in almost every way.
Right. So my concern is not like Revel was not a failure because American Cut and Amada and HQ and Ivan and Royal Jelly and those things were failures. Revel was a failure,
because they didn't get people in the door to gamble, right?
Right. So there was just a lack of attention. So my concern about this isn't necessarily about like that these specific things don't generate excitement. It's that it makes it harder for you to generate excitement around them, right? Like it's harder to now say like, come check out this new thing that has all the stuff that the old thing had that you didn't bother to come see.
Right. Well, it's not only that, it's just like, I suspect it's going to be a very nice property. And it seems like they're not doing too many things wrong, but again, Revel was a failure. And what are they doing to make it clear that this isn't going to be Revel again? And
right.
Like, to me, I haven't seen that thing yet.
Yeah, I mean, Topgolf was the first thing that I was really like, there is at least a little bit of a hook. Like, there's something that you can really say, come out to this.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, and it's something people will check out, but do you think that's going to be like a huge driver of people there that weren't going to otherwise go there?
No, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think the thing that is going to drive people there is just marketing how much of a true like ocean resort Ocean is, and that you should come out here and sit out by the fire pit and have a cocktail and like look out on the ocean, which is something that you can't do at a casino anywhere else. And Revel never successfully marketed that. So it's not that I think that they can't do it. It's just we haven't seen it yet. And it's concerning that they haven't really done much marketing. Like there's been a little bit, apparently a little bit of like radio advertising. There's some billboards
a billboard out, yeah.
But I mean, I just haven't heard much. Like even their social media isn't, they're not as well oiled as Hard Rock is. Like Hard Rock just knocks it out of the park with this stuff. They had a ton of media at their announcements. They got a bunch of buzz even for their Facebook announcement of the entertainment. And when something gets announced with Ocean, it seems like it's just like, oh, hey, did you see they posted this on their Facebook group a while ago? Or a bunch of stuff got mentioned in this article by Wayne Perry. And it's like, that's not really, that's probably that like Wayne Perry picked up the phone and called this guy, not like them going out of their way to push this stuff out. So that concerns me. Like, again, the marketing thing concerns me so much, but,
right.
I mean, and they're running out of time. Like they need to get it together.
I think it's possible Ocean could be a modest success, right? I mean, a big problem with the original Revel, of course, was the debt that they had on it and the problems around that, and the power plant and all that stuff, and that's all gone now.
Yeah, and Dyfik, I think, said he has no debt going into this, right?
Right. So it's just going to be someone coming in and trying to operate a casino at a profit, basically, without having to worry about all of the stuff that the Revel had to worry about.
Right. And dumbing that down, it means that it gives you a lot of leeway, right? Like, it means that if they come in, they don't have to be a smash hit right out of the gate.
Right. And so, like I said, I think that being a modest success is possible, but I mean, this is probably something to talk more about on a different episode because we have a lot of stuff to get through, and I don't want this to be a 2-hour episode.
Why not? Let's do it.
But does Atlantic City need another modest success for a casino? I mean, like Resorts is a modest success. Golden Nugget's a modest success, right? And if we have another modest success, like something that's not bringing people to the city, all you're doing is hurting the other casinos at that point. So I don't really want to get into that line of reasoning. I think that's something else we can do in another episode before Hard Rock and Ocean open up, is kind of talk about that line and talking about the future of the city with 2 more casinos coming in. But
right. But I mean, Dyfik doesn't have to care about if his modest success hurts the other modest success.
Sure, but we are Atlantic City podcasters, right. So we have to care about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, because not having the debt is a big deal. I mean, Taj Mahal basically had bondholders knocking on the door from the second it opened. Like, they had to just do gangbusters to avoid defaulting, and they did. Like, they did do gangbusters until eventually they did, go bankrupt. But but it was years in. So they shouldn't have that threat. Obviously they have to make enough to cover their overhead and pay their employees and all that stuff. But they don't have to worry about like, oh, we're going to default on our debt in the first 2 months of this thing being open. Anything else on Ocean?
I think it's a reasonable time just to mention right now the Jose Garces, I guess, company has declared bankruptcy. So they ended up selling off all of their restaurants to Ballard Brands, and they are saying that everything's going to operate as normal. So we think that means like Elan, Bar Elan, Okacha should be okay. We don't know exactly what it's going to mean for Armada and Ocean, but I suspect more will come out about that soon, hopefully.
Right, yeah, so who knows? I mean, certainly this Ballard Brands could say like, whoa, let's pull the plug on this, starting up a new restaurant thing. But hopefully, no real changes that will be noticed at Elan, Okacha, Bar Elan. But I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if anything happens there. But certainly probably not news that Ocean likes to see when they're expecting them to open. But I'm going to guess that they have way more information than we have, and we'll, like you said, we'll hear more news in the future. Should we get into settling our bet?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a couple wrap-up points that we can make. So Obviously, Craig and I had a bet on which was going to open first, Hard Rock or Ocean. It looks like right now they're opening the same day, which I assume is going to actually happen. So we've decided that we're going to go down to the hour and down to the minute if necessary to see which opens up first. So I don't know.
Yeah, no pushes here. There will be no
Yeah.
pushes.
I mean, if they really both just open at midnight or something on that day, I think we have to push. But
So, except that, there's the announced time and there's the actual time. I mean, my guess is that they're going to open at night, right?
Uh-huh.
Like,
I don't know.
in the evening or at night. I don't think it's going to be like noon.
Could be.
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think we hashed this out on Twitter, and in the ideal scenario, we would both be able to get to Atlantic City on the 28th, and you would stand in line at Hard Rock, and I would stand in line at Ocean, and whoever was inside first, I don't know, take a picture and tweet it inside, and whoever's timestamp is earliest wins the bet. I don't know if logistics are going to work out for that for a bunch of reasons, one of which being it's a Thursday. But, I mean, that would be the coolest way to do it. So, I don't know. We'll see if we can make that happen.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because I know we've talked about this a bit on GChat. I am going to try to make it up to Atlantic City on the 28th, probably just for only one night, Thursday the 28th, and I'd be leaving kind of early on Friday the 29th. But I'm going to try to make it happen just to see the opening or walk through these two casinos and just be able to see them on opening day. I think would be really cool. So I'm going to definitely try to do it. I know for you it's a bit harder. Do you have any idea of what the odds are that it happens? Low?
Yeah, maybe I don't know, between 10 and 20%.
All right.
So that's not... It's
fairly
low,
low, but not impossible.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's just been so exciting to read about both properties. Like, I really want to be able to make it because, having listened to Vegas Tripping and 88 Days to Macau and their excitement about these new properties that opened. And, since we started this, we haven't had that. And really, we basically, since I started going, have only had Revel, which kind of opened with a whimper, with not much marketing or excitement. I don't think either of us even went until months into its opening. And I think even when I think we had been to Atlantic City a couple times while it was open and just didn't bother to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't remember back that far, but it's definitely possible.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to just go check this stuff out, especially having been able to follow it so closely. But, I expect a lot of people share that view also. Like a lot of people who are listeners to the show are just really excited to have some new blood. And one of the things I've really wondered about the decline in revenue in the early part of the year in terms of the gambling take that the casinos have seen in Atlantic City is is it just casino fatigue? Is it just fatigue of the current inventory, of the fact that, there's only 7 casinos now. There's only 4 on the boardwalk. If you've been going to Caesars for the past 5 or 10 years, it hasn't changed much in that time. Bally's, they've done the Wild Wild West stuff. They did a sort of reconfiguration of the casino floor. It still feels the same to me as it felt when I first started going there. So, I don't get super excited about I'm going to Caesars, even though I like the property. I've done the stuff that I'm going to do. It's just going to do the same stuff over and over again. So I can understand why people would be making fewer trips because there's less new stuff to get excited about. So now here's 2 big things that are going to be new and interesting and exciting to go check out. So I think that a lot of people are feeling that, at least, a lot of people that we interact with in Facebook and on Twitter and that kind of stuff. So that's sort of where my excitement goes. I think I've totally, gone off the rails into a totally different point.
I just want to say, it's a totally weak thing to say, and I couldn't disagree more. I am always excited, even when I'm going to Bally's. Even if it's Bally's, just because I love going to AC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but I'm not amped up about that it is Caesars.
I don't understand how you could.
I'm excited that it's Atlantic City,
the Park Place in your mind, and just not be amped, Craig.
That's a good point.
You can go to Johnny Rockets. You can.
Yeah, that's true. Get some real deal barbecue right here on the boardwalk.
Yeah, that's Wild West. It's actually nice. It's not the crap hole that is the Park Place.
Yeah.
So I guess speaking of dates, I mentioned I'm going to try to come up on the 28th. But we are both confirmed, I think, going to be in Atlantic City from August 2nd to 4th. Is that right? Or are you only confirmed for the one night?
I'm only confirmed for the 3rd. 2nd, I'm optimistic about the 2nd. I am booked both nights. I'm booked the 3rd, so I booked the free room with my diamond status at Hard Rock. It was very easy. Just called him up and said, hey, I see this tier match. You give them your name. They said basically make sure you bring a card with an expiration date on it that is in the future, like a diamond card, or else we will charge you whatever the prevailing rate is for the room.
I have a question. I have a card that was gotten fairly recently at one of the Atlantic City casinos that does not have an expiration date on it.
I would think that they would not accept it, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't know if this casino still does not put expiration dates on their cards or not.
Yeah.
But the one I have, which was, again, obtained not that long ago, does not have an expiration date on it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's a way to game the system. Who knows?
Yeah.
The risk, of course, is that you go and then they charge you $500 for your room.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think I'm going to risk it, but I just don't know how they're going to handle cards from that property. If I don't know if they have expiration dates on them now or not.
Yeah. But for me, a Friday night in August, free. Like, I couldn't get that at Caesars. I would probably be paying $200 or more at Caesars on a Friday night. So
where did you book on Thursday night?
So Thursday night, I'm booked in the Bally's Garden Tower.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
With you as my companion, because I couldn't get it for free otherwise.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be able to get other rooms for those 2 nights as well. Yeah, it's just so people know on the podcast, me and Craig have never stayed in the Garden Tower before, and so it's always been this white whale for us. Because if you don't know about the Garden Tower, it is on top of the parking garage at Bally's, and it just looks totally ridiculous from the outside. So
yeah, I
think the rooms are supposed to be okay.
Yes,
right?
People like the rooms.
It's got to be better than Bally's Tower.
Yeah, it's a little dark, I think, in them because everything faces in. Well, not everything, but lots of them face in to the center of the parking garage, which I guess they've built like a little atrium on the top of, so that it it's the garden. It's a garden.
Yeah.
But it's totally like tacked onto the top of the parking garage at Bally's. So that's currently where I'm booked. Hopefully, cool. I will get to use it, but we'll see. So, I mean, at the very least, we have a trip booked, and it's now probably 2.5 months away. Oh, it's still so far.
It's pretty far.
We need to make this June 28th thing happen.
I'm optimistic, at least for me, getting there June 28th. I think I should be able to swing it.
Yeah, I'm less optimistic, but
It's only one night during the week. Come on, what's holding you back?
I mean, I guess the question is how much effort am I willing to put in? Like, if it comes down to it, am I willing to drive down and drive back on the same day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be worth it.
Come on, man. I did that in December.
It's true.
I had a 1-month-old at home. Drove up for just a day trip.
Yeah. So did you check the calendar, the entertainment calendar, August 2nd and 3rd?
I sure didn't, but I see that you did.
So there's nothing right now at Hard Rock on the 3rd, or at least there wasn't when I checked right after I booked. The 4th, so I doubt I'll be staying in like late into the night of the 4th, so that makes it kind of tough. But there is Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes playing, which I like. So, I live in Jersey now. I have to listen to Jersey music. The other thing is that they just announced that there will be HBO televised boxing on August 4th at the Edis Arena at Hard Rock, and that is Sergey Kovalev versus Alader Alvarez. So that's cool because, boxing, as we mentioned in the past, has kind of disappeared from the landscape in Atlantic City, so it's cool to see them get, a live nationally televised, HBO paid super premium cable televised fight, which, again, if I was going to stay late enough, like that would be something I would be seriously interested in. But there's pretty much no way I'm going to be there late enough to see that.
Yep, I would love that too, but I will be leaving. I am positive in the morning or early afternoon on Saturday. So
yeah, I could potentially stay into the evening, but there's just no way I'm staying for like a concert at 8:00 or a fight that's probably not going to start until like 11.
11, yeah, probably.
Yeah, this is not going to happen. But so I'm super excited to have rooms booked and go check out these places.
Yeah, should be great. And I guess that if I'm really going to do the 28th, I need to finalize that and get a room booked sooner rather than later. I expect it will be a fairly busy weekend in Atlantic City. Yeah. And even though it's just a Thursday night, it probably would behoove me to try to get something booked sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think last time I checked, the rates at Total Rewards were not too bad. Like, I think I was getting in the 50s at Caesars and Bally's.
Okay.
Or Bally's and Harry's.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, I should be fine,
bad.
because I, in theory, should have comps at resorts and Trop. Resorts, obviously, would be the premium place for me to stay. So
yeah, so, when we did our casino draft and I picked the resort's location, all of a sudden it's looking pretty good.
Scoreboard.
For that weekend, anyway. I mean, if you're not staying in Hard Rock or Ocean on the 28th, 29th, like, resorts is the place to stay, right? It'll be great. It'll be interesting to see what this means for resorts. Like, are a bunch of people gonna stay at resorts who are going to concerts at Hard Rock? It's possible. So we need to settle our Ocean bet. We need to try to get there on the 28th to settle our Hard Rock.
We can settle our Ocean bet on the 28th.
That's true.
If we're both there.
So the funny thing about this is you bet on Hard Rock opening first, and I bet on Ocean opening first. So according to these made-up rules of ours, you would be standing in line for Hard Rock, and I would be standing in line for Ocean. But I've said I'm more excited for Hard Rock, and you're more excited for Ocean. So we'd be standing in line for the thing that we're less excited for, to be the first one.
At this point, I think I probably would be standing in line for the thing I'm more excited for.
Wow. Okay. I'll be hanging at Topgolf, eating cereal from Cereal Town.
You are pretty excited for Cereal Town.
I'm very excited.
I got that from the Twitter.
I hope that it's like completely off the walls, like over the top decorated, and doesn't just look like they set up a bunch of those cylinders with cereal and they're like, come in and give us, whatever, some flat rate and eat all the cereal. Like, I don't know, just totally tacked on terribleness. I can't imagine they would do that to me personally. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't hurt me like that.
All right.
Are we done with news on Hard Rock?
I think we're done on Hard Rock Ocean. We can just kind of blow through a few more things. I guess the other piece of fairly major news that came out in the last couple weeks was that Tropicana sold to El Dorado, which is, or I guess Carl Icahn sold to El Dorado, right?
Yeah, El Dorado Gaming, El Dorado Resorts, which is
a company that has casinos all around the country, right?
Yeah, so I think right now they have 19
Caribbean, right?
19 properties, yeah. So like Colorado, Florida, Iowa, like random places, not like
not
what you
Vegas.
think of like Vegas and Atlantic City, although this will give them an Atlantic City. So, Farmington, Pennsylvania, if you've been to the Lady Luck Casino, is El Dorado. They've got several things in Reno. So if you've been to Reno, you might have been to one. So, this is not like one of the big companies, but it is they've got multiple resorts.
Right. So I guess the major question coming out of it is something we've always pushed on the podcast, and which I think which I take to be true. Other people might complain or say that hasn't been their experience, is that Tropicana traditionally, it's not a place that me or Craig love to play, or at least that I do not love to play at. I don't especially like playing there. But it has been the place that's been the easiest to get room comps in particular. I think their other comps are okay now. They're good, not great, but their room comps are really fantastic. I think I'm still set up for 7-day-a-week comps even in June at Trop, which is pretty crazy considering the amount of play I've put in there.
Yeah, the reputation is definitely, in the Everything AC group even.
But
is the easiest comp room in AC.
right. So David Walters in our Facebook group actually listened to the earnings call where they announced all of this. And something that kind of jumped out for all of us is that they very specifically said that Tropicana after this will not be as comp friendly as they have been in the past, which I think is a bit unfortunate. And thanks to David for listening to the conference call and letting all the people in the group know. Is there anything else you want to talk about from this?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they specifically mentioned that they want to cut promotional spend and specifically mentioned midweek business, like they don't want to spend so much on, because all the AC casinos give away a ton of rooms in the middle of the week because they can't fill the space, and it seems like El Dorado is basically saying, we're going to be fine being a weekend place, being a 2-night town, and if it's empty in the middle of the week, then it's empty. We're not going to give away a bunch of rooms. It seems so counterintuitive and so against everything that sort of makes AC tick and make a casino town what it is, but that's very disappointing. Certainly, if people have been taking advantage of Tropicana's comps, they're very generous comps. It's disappointing, but it will put Tropicana in El Dorado's single players club. They'll apparently have 26 properties when all is said and done. So I don't know. It's interesting because Trop has been making such major gains, right, in terms of revenue. They've done a bunch of updates. They've renovated every tower, the rooms in every tower in the property, and it really seems like it's paid off. And now to basically say, like, hey, let's go the other direction with that. Like, let's stop comping people. Just as 2 new properties come in, right, and inflate the room inventory in the city by a ton, by more than 3,000 rooms, just seems insane. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out for them. It's a bold strategy. We'll see how it works out for them.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I think I'm a little more quick to believe when a company says that things are going to actively get worse under them than they have been with the previous administration. But even then, I just want to see it change before I say that, yeah, it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah. Woof. Yeah. Who's like, you know what? Screw you. We're coming for you. It's kind of odd, but I mean, these calls are for investors. They're not for gamblers, right?
Yeah,
they're trying to say, yeah,
they need to talk about why it's going to be better for their bottom line, and giving away stuff for free is, well, and gambling is a little bit different, but I think that the last 10 years have shown that there are better things to do to help the bottom line out than giving away a lot of free rooms. So, I mean, obviously with everything, all the resort fees stuff and everything else that's happened and the growth of non-gaming revenue, casinos are moving away from that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're saying, I guess they said on the earnings call they expect to be more profitable despite lower room turnover. So we'll see if that works out. It's, I mean, it's not a totally ridiculous notion.
I mean, it's just the other thing is they're saying this right when however many thousands of rooms are about to come on the market at the same time too. So we'll see. I'm not sold that it's actually going to change.
Yeah, the timing is bad. That's the biggest thing for me. Like if they had announced this 6 months ago, I'd be like, okay, or a year ago. But
so my wild speculation is that this fall there is just going to be free rooms at any casino that you want.
Yeah, sure.
Not in the summer, but by the time fall hits, I think it's going to be free rooms for everyone.
Looking back like 2008, 2009, when you could just get a room any night.
Nothing was like the old Hilton in terms of just not gambling and getting free rooms. That will never come back, I think.
Even before the recession, right? They were so...
Yeah, it was crazy. It was amazing. I mean, I've talked about it on the podcast before, but that's like I could get weekend comps at the Hilton betting, playing $5 blackjack for a couple hours or whatever. I mean, it will never be like that again. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to be too far away this fall and this winter. It's going to, because there's so many new rooms coming on the market.
Yeah, I don't think this summer you're going to see
prices
go down. I mean, summer's always so expensive in AC, and they're
right. And there's going to be a lot of hype.
Always booked at capacity. Yeah, and there's going to be a ton of hype. There's going to be a bunch of big name acts playing at Hard Rock. They're going to.
But I don't think there's going to be any hype in October or whatever.
Right. So what other news? Bill's Bar and Burger is open at Golden Nugget.
Yeah, it's open at the Nugget. I think so. When I was there in March, I think it looked like it was going to be opening very shortly after I left. So
it is open.
Yeah,
I don't know much about how it looks or if it's as good as
liked
it was
a lot at Harrah's though. So
we were fans.
That's good. A bit of state takeover news, which I don't really want to talk about too much because I don't think we're really the experts on that. Probably listen to the AC story to get a bit more about this. But the new governor of New Jersey, it was a little bit unclear for a while what exactly was going to happen with Atlantic City.
Still unclear what exactly is going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. But it seems like he's moving in the direction of giving the city a bit more control over its operations, I guess. The Jeff Chiseo's law firm, who was running the city under Chris Christie, has gotten the boot.
Yeah. I think it's Jeff Chiesa. It's the weirdest. Sorry. Yeah, it's very strange. But
thank you.
So he's out. He was some Christie ally who was getting paid,
a lot of money, which was a big part of the news about the state takeover. I think. I think that's very fair to say.
So they're out. And it seems like the indication right now is that the state's gonna stop poring over every budget decision that the city makes, but they're not actually ending this oversight, and it seems like it may not end for years.
Right.
Everybody's being very non-committal, which is not really surprising.
Right.
So it seems kind of vague. I'll link to an article about the Jeff Chiesa news, but there's not really a whole lot of specifics beyond that actual concrete news. Is there anything else that we should talk about news-wise?
I think that was most of the really major stuff, and I mean, there's a couple more things on here, but I think we can save them for the next episode to try to keep this one fairly tidy. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
So I had a question that I wanted to bring up during the Hard Rock Ocean conversation, but I'll shoehorn it in now.
Sure.
So I was thinking about this because of the entertainment calendar at Hard Rock. Is it possible that Hard Rock this year, especially because of all of the hype and the fact that they're going out of their way to bring in entertainment midweek, could they have a gambling revenue month higher than Borgata before the end of the year?
So if you'd asked me this in January, February, I would have just laughed at you. I mean, I would have thought this was the most ridiculous question I've ever heard in my life.
That's what I was expecting.
But I just don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what the expectations should be. I still think, if you made me bet one way or the other, I'd say no.
Yeah, I'd still say no. But the calendar is so aggressive. The entertainment calendar is so packed. It's insane. It
does seem like they're sparing no expense to try to draw people in, and I just don't know. I mean, I can't rule it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions there. Are the people who are coming to concerts gamblers?
So here's the other thing too, right? Is are they going to do it this summer? Almost certainly not.
Right.
I think.
No, I can't imagine.
But what about in November when they're still having shows all the time and stuff, and Borgata is just, coasting through because they're Borgata and that's what they do, and it's off season. Who's to say they couldn't have a better month sometime than Borgata? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot more clear after the first couple months of revenue numbers are out with the two new casinos in the market, but I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah, I think everything has to go right for Hard Rock in that, you get a ton of people at all these concerts. They're really selling well. Those people also do some gambling. You get Hard Rock and Ocean drawing people away from the marina and drawing some interest away from the marina. And then there's just the general sort of revenue decline that's already started, it seems like, at the remaining Atlantic City casinos at the start of the year, like it does seem like sort of the setup does not make that impossible. But it was just a funny thing that popped into my head one day. I was sitting at work and I was like, wow, this schedule is crazy. Like they're going to have like decent room fill rates on Tuesday, Wednesday nights, which is just going to be crazy in like October. But it'll be interesting to see once those numbers start coming out. I mean, if it's bad though, the flip side of that is it's going to be real bad, right? Like if they're still really aggressive with this calendar and not filling the place and not doing well in gambling revenue, that's going to be rough.
I mean, there is certainly the possibility that they could just hemorrhage money if it does not work out the way they think it's going to. I think they're going to be successful. That's kind of my wild prediction, just not knowing, obviously not having the data points yet. I would be surprised if it really bombed, but I mean, I don't know. 2018 has been a bad year so far for Atlantic City, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. And who knows? We aren't going to learn until I guess like Q3 profit results come out, like how much they're actually spending to bring all these acts in. Like we don't know what their break even number is really going to be in terms of the gaming revenue.
Right, and is it that they're doing these concerts in the typical casino way where they're comping a ton of tickets, or are they making money on the concerts themselves?
Like, what do you think? I mean, I suspect if they're not a solid number 2, at least in the market, like that's probably a big failure for them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
that's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got to get
if
to
they're
Trop
not
numbers.
Beating Caesars, Trop, Harrah's like pretty decently. Like, I don't think that means they're not. I think that means they're not doing especially well.
Yeah, I think if they're in the Trop range, that's probably not terrible for them. If they're getting a bunch of non-gaming revenue,
right?
But that's second, right?
It depends. I guess it all depends. We'll learn a lot more when it comes out.
Yeah, but it's fun to speculate. That's why I wanted to ask the question.
What do you think Ocean's going to be? Where are they going to be in the?
I'm terrified. I think they're going to be. I think they'll be better than Revel, but I think they're going to be.
I mean, Revel had like some bad months. Revel had like some $8 million months or something.
Right. I mean, to me, that just can't happen.
Like, I mean, that does not happen anymore, period, in 2018 AC. It is not 2014, 2015 AC anymore, luckily.
But to me, like, even if they're coming in like just above Resorts and Golden Nugget, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's bad.
That's terrible because it's a huge property and a huge casino. Like, you have to make more money than that, right? Like, you can't have this giant property that's not doing more than, $15-16 million a month in gaming revenue. Like, they need to get into the 20s, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, I'm not confident saying that they're going to come in the summer and make $20 million a month in gaming revenue, which is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it.
Oh,
I think they could. They could if they get the marketing.
If everything comes out right, I mean, like I said, if everything comes out right now, I think Ocean will be a modest success.
Right.
And that's like not a good upside.
Nope.
Given that I think if everything comes out wrong, it's going to be just a complete failure, like a total disaster, dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean, and what that would, I mean, we talked about the lack of debt, but so what a complete disaster dumpster fire would probably look like is just shit closes and, they're laying off people and, even if the casino
closes.
Well, even if the casino's open and you can still book a room, there's just going to like not be many restaurants, not be any entertainment, maybe there's not as many clubs and stuff like that.
And who knows, maybe they're going to take more of a long-term stance on this, but
or like stuff
you can only
seasonal.
do that if you're like being like reasonably successful before that, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you get to a point where you can't, cut your expenditures enough that you are profitable, you have to close, right? Like there's just because there's no road to success anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
All right. So I think to kind of sum up, we're both optimistic about Hard Rock and pessimistic about Ocean. Is that fair?
Yeah, but which is weird because we're both. I mean, I'm like more excited about Ocean than I was a month ago when we talked. Like, knowing more of their plans, I'm more excited about those things. I
think
hate ending like so down on it.
I'm less excited because
You're
we're
forgetting
hearing
about
plans.
Serial Town.
Like, we're hearing specifics of like X thing is going to go in Y space and stuff like that. But I'm not hearing what's going to be different. I'm not hearing how they're going to bring people in.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. Like, show me what your crazy tier match scheme is going to be to get people in the door, and show me what the marketing is. Like, show me what the one thing that you're going to do to get into everybody's minds and be like, get people to say like, hey, I need to try it. Like, get out awareness, get people to come try it. Like, we haven't seen that yet. And even their social media is not that active. Right.
Well, we'll see. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or should we shut it down?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. It's kind of a
Just
downer.
like Ocean.
Aw, boo, boo. We need to talk about something upbeat.
I do hope that they're a success, and I think there is a chance that they end up being successful. But
I mean, the thing
again, that's not when that's like what you can say optimistically about it is that you think it's possible that it's a success.
I mean, the thing that makes me more optimistic long term is that I think they have a much longer runway than Rebel.
I do, and they have experienced people in charge, and so that is a reason for optimism. But
yeah,
beyond that, I haven't seen a whole lot.
We'll find out a lot, I think, when we start to see what the design is going to look like for that like entryway where the elevators are and steps and that stuff. If it's just like a total tack-on job. Like, we put up some plexiglass on the escalators, and we tore down the wall and put up some concrete steps, and that's it. Like, I think it's going to make me very nervous. If there's something that is, feels like a significant change, then I'll be like, oh, okay, they're really actually, making a go at this. But again, Topgolf, that's making a go. Topgolf, Serial Town.
Serial Town. I'm going to go eat some Captain Crunch.
I want to go eat some Captain Crunch that you can only get in, like, Bangladesh.
I promise you, I do have one promise for you, Craig, that I feel is a lock, and that is you are going to be disappointed by Serial Town.
Oh, I hate you so much for this.
You know that's true.
Because I'm so psyched up about it.
You built it up so much to yourself.
That's true. It's not going to be like walking into Willy Wonka's cereal factory.
That's,
just not
and that's exactly what you think it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is what I think it's going to be. I want to be serenaded by the captain and Toucan Sam when I walk in.
Tony the Tiger.
It's just not going to happen.
No. All right. So if you want to reach out to us or any of the other people in our Facebook group, you can do so at facebook.com/group/DoForAWin. Find all of our content at DoForAWin.com. Find our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, and probably not YouTube. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at DoForAWin, or send him emails at DoForAWin@gmail.com. You answer our emails, Craig?
Yeah, I answered first ever emailer, Steve. I only took 12 days to get back to him because I was back in the office and dealing with my mountain of emails.
Nice. But, so Steve reached back out to us?
Yeah.
That's great.
It'd be cool if he could make it one of the 28th or the 2nd.
Yes. Anyways, thank you guys very much for listening, and thanks a lot for bearing with our complete lack of episodes. Hopefully most of you are still here subscribed, even though we haven't been the most prolific. And hopefully we are going to get back to normal now and start to get back to every couple weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will hopefully talk to you guys before the end of May to get our second podcast of the month out. Have a good one.
Serial Town.
Oh, good job. I'm glad that someone on the call is a professional.
Barely. Really, we're both amateurs in that there's no money being exchanged.
That's true. But it's good because we haven't lost our eligibility.
That's true. We can podcast in the Olympics. I think we've made this joke before. I think you specifically made this joke before.
I have no recollection of that, but...
Well, my joke now. Patented, trademarked, Craig Stone. 2018.
Done.